Welcome to the Queen's Lair, a lifestyle podcast. Get inspired by our latest tips and information about small business, entrepreneurship, natural hair, travel, food, and even relationships. Stay tuned for another great episode. I am your host, Renee Patrice. Welcome back, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning into my podcast once again. There is a term going around that I realize that I am, and I don't think I realize that. And it is the term digital nomad. Have y'all heard this term? Because I want to say I may have heard this term before, but I never really paid attention to it. So I decided to look it up and kind of dig into it a little bit today. But a digital nomad, they're known as people who conduct their life in a nomadic manner while engaging in remote work using digital telecommunications technology. Some digital nomads are perpetual travelers, while others are only nomadic for a short period of time. I was like, is this really me? So, I don't do a lot of personal stuff on here, but I will do some every so often because I like to share, and I'm very open and, straightforward and stuff. So the first 24 years of my life, I lived in New York. I was born and raised in New York. My parents are immigrants. They, down the road, became citizens, but they probably didn't become citizens until I was well into my 20s. If you're new tuning in, thank you so much, first of all. But just to give you a little bit of background. So people who may not know, who may be new, or my veteran folks who have been listening for years. So I am a native New Yorker. My parents are Jamaican, both of my parents on both sides, everybody on down. When my parents first came to this country, I was born the same year, several months later after they came to this country in the 70s. So I guess I've always been a traveler just from that, because every summer, the entire summer, as soon as school would let out, if anybody who grew up in New York going to public school lets out at the end of June. So once school let out, 2-3 days after that, I was on a plane to Jamaica for the whole summer, and I usually didn't come back until sometime in August. Sometimes I would go down with one parent, and if their vacations overlapped, then I would come back with another parent. There was also a couple times that I came back with my aunt, because she would also go down and visit as well. And my cousins were going to school there at the time. I have a set of identical twin cousins that were going to school there. They were born in the States as well, but they were with my grandparents at the time. So anytime I would go to Jamaica, of course, we were staying, with my grandparents. So I've always had this travel thing in me, always. My sister is this way as well. My sister is 10 years, almost to the day, younger than me. And she's the travel queen, honestly, because I don't even really travel like how she does. But she's been to several countries. Like, she travels for real. And I don't know, we've just always had this thing about travel. And just seeing, different places. We're not squeamish about, what's the word? We're not squeamish about different foods from different places. We try anything, we're not. There's some people that everywhere they go, there's like this joke that goes around: how you talk about you want to travel, but everywhere you go, you order chicken wings. Or chicken tenders, I think was the meme or whatever, which is true. Like, why would you go to another country and order chicken tenders? Like, order the cuisine of the country, or just try it, try something different, learn, that kind of thing. But anyway, So I've always had this travel bug in me. I pretty much come from a family of people who just love to travel and see different places and, that kind of thing. We've just always kind of been that type of family. So I never really saw myself as this digital nomad thing. I've been hearing this term. I've heard the term, but never really dug into it to be like, okay, what is this really? But it's basically a person who works remotely. They can work, on electronics. Everything is, electronic connections. You don't have to be in a physical office. So I think a lot of people are able to do that now because a lot of folks are entrepreneurs now. A lot of people are leaving their 9-to-5 jobs to pursue entrepreneurship full time and become small business owners. There are people who still work in the 9-to-5 world but are working 100% remote. So now they don't even have to live in the city for which, their job is, because since they're 100% digital now, you could live in Hawaii and still have your corporate job in Manhattan, that kind of thing. So I've been seeing a lot of these, conversations coming up more and more. So I really looked at it. And when I looked this up and really read the definition of this and really started to research it, I'm like, wow, I really am a digital nomad for real. Now, I'm not a digital nomad that I keep traveling, going all these different places all the time. I do have stretches of time where that happens, but then there's long stretches of time where I'm not traveling. So I guess I'm kind of like a hybrid of the long-term digital nomad and the short-term digital nomad. But as I was saying, the first 24 years of my life, growing up in New York, that was all in New York State at some point, either New York City or like upstate New York. Once I graduated from college, I moved to DC, and then I lived in the DMV area for 15 years. And now I have been in the Atlanta metro area going on 9 years, and I actually said to myself recently, in the last year or so, I said, I think 10 years is good in the Atlanta area. And I said to myself, I think the 10-year mark is fine. And then I want to look into the next place, but I want that to be the place that I stay, like I don't want to go anywhere else. So it's not that I have bounced around, but I have definitely been to different areas and experienced those cities. So of course, being a New Yorker, being from up north, it's very different than from being in the South. I've seen a lot of beautiful things about the South. I've seen a lot of family dynamics and things that are just amazing about the South. But the South also has a lot of ugly truths that still exist here. And I think it's still pretty shocking that we're still living in a world where you can literally run somebody down on the street and kill them in broad daylight, and you're literally trying to make a defense out of it as if this person attacks you, and then we see the video and see that that's not what happened, and it's like, wow, you would think this is 1955, and here we are in Black History Month, absorbing all of these things once again, because, all these videos and things that you will see, especially during times such as this, Black History Month, often roots up those videos that a lot of people don't want to face and a lot of people don't want to talk about. Anybody who knows me, I talk about Black 365 days a year because it's important. It's a part of my community, But because of Black History Month, these things come even more to the forefront than they do the rest of the year. So I say that as a digital nomad, which I just realized that I truly am, is that I have been blessed to see a lot of these different places. I've traveled to a lot of different cities, other countries and things, even for work, even for my job, as an executive brand manager and marketeer, and I love every aspect of my job that I do, but I also understand that there is a time that you have to be settled. And I think a lot of times we're not settled in where we want to be and what we want to do, so we kind of bounce around. And I don't ever want to be that type of person, that's just bouncing around and have no idea, about anything. So I've always tried to stay pretty stationary for a good amount of time to experience and really take in and take on the experience of that area. And the South has definitely done that for me. I'm very proud of all the work that's been done here, as far as Black people, the African diaspora, all of the different things that Stacey Abrams and Keisha Lance Bottoms, who is the outgoing mayor of Atlanta, the city of Atlanta, just what these amazing people do here is just wonderful. I have enjoyed, seeing the historically Black colleges and universities here. You got Spelman is here. You have Clark Atlanta is here. You have Morehouse here. And just even all the other institutions, college institutions that may not be Black schools, but we do have some amazing Black scholars who attend those schools as well. So I've seen a lot. I've definitely seen a lot. But I wanted to kind of throw it out to you guys. What do you think about being a digital nomad? Are you a digital nomad? And maybe I'm telling you that you're a digital nomad, and maybe you didn't know, because I didn't really see myself as a digital nomad because I always spend a great amount of time, in one area. But I said, wow, I do travel. I don't travel as much as I used to. And that's intentional, because I have tapped into another piece of my business that really is very remote. So I don't have to be on the travel all the time. I was getting tired of being on planes, and your nasal passages are dry because you're breathing in this nasty plane air, and your squoze up in the seats. And, I was just tired of it, and I said, okay, I'm going to tap into this other side of my business. So that's what made me go back to school last year and do that marketing class. And then the other entrepreneurship class, dropped on my lap, and I was like, oh, I have to do this. And completing them both was amazing, because it has led to so many amazing things for my business this year, and years to come. So I don't know about this digital nomad thing. What do you guys think about the digital nomad situation? So I'll say it again. The digital nomads are people who conduct their life in a nomadic manner while engaging in remote work using digital telecommunications technology, which I do. How did I not know this? I don't know. I'm happy about it in one respect, and then in other respects, it's time to just chill, I'm in my 40s now. It's time to just chill out, and not be as busy, and just focus on, well, I'll tell you one thing that I'm doing, paring down my business, is I am not working on a whole bunch of projects. I am taking on very astute projects. Is that the word? I don't even know if I'm using that word right. I'm taking on projects that are very intentional. That's the word I want to try to find. These projects that I'm working on are very intentional, and they are going to support creators. They are going to support, those people who are just in the arts in every sort of way, whether it's music, whether it's travel, whether it's food, whether it is, mental health, wellness and fitness and all of that. This is something that is very intentional. I'm putting my energies into those type of projects. So once everything is solidified with that, there's a couple more things that need to be solidified, and then I'll be talking about it more. But definitely, as a digital nomad, I've been very fortunate to be able to do a lot of the things that I've done, and to be able to do it remotely. And it's going to continue in some form, but it's going to be more intentional. So, to the rest of the digital nomads out there, remember that when you start to get the feeling like you need to slow down and you need to be more intentional and not bounce around, listen to that feeling that you have, because that may be God trying to tell you, I have a little purpose-filled project that you need to work on. And that's exactly what's happening to me right now. So, proud digital nomad checking in, but I'm also going to be more intentional about my nomadic way of living. And I will keep you guys posted as more information becomes available. I know I'm being kind of cryptic, but trust me, when I announce it, you're going to be like, whoa. And I would say this, it'll be definitely worth it. It'll definitely be worth it. And I think a lot of people will be, I think some people will be surprised. I think they'll be surprised, but I think it'll be a great surprise. And it gives more opportunities for creators, especially the creators within the African diaspora. I think it'll be an amazing, amazing thing for us as a people, as a community. And that's all I'm going to say about that. All right. If you want to talk to me on social media, Instagram is my most interesting social media. It's my most outspoken social media. It's my most active social media. And you can contact me at Onyx Queen Media on all socials. And if you want to email me, feel free. hello@onyxqueenmedia.com. Talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye. Online savings simplified. Don't search for coupon codes ever again. With one click, Honey's smart shopping assistant will automatically apply discounts to your cart in seconds. Save on all your favorite things. Easily pay less for products you're already buying online. It's as easy as 1, 2, 3. Join Honey for free. It takes 2 clicks to add Honey to your Chrome, Safari, Firefox, or Opera browser. Find savings in seconds. While you shop, Honey will find working promo codes across the entire internet, and you save instantly. With one click, Honey will apply the best deals to your cart. It's that easy. So what are you waiting for? Get Honey. Download it today. Visit our link, www.tinyurl.com/ONYXHONEY. That's www.tinyurl.com/Onyx Honey. Start saving right now.